I was working hard. I had 3 jobs, but I was going nowhere. And I decided one day that I was going to go to the Detroit Grand Prix and pretend like it was my job. So I was shooting film cameras like this one.
Old school.
Click. That was it. Click. I mean, literally, first race I did, I was click, click, click with my thumb. And I bought some slide
What year
film.
was that?
That would have been 1994.
Yeah, right.
Okay? And
Oh,
I
wow.
shot a bunch of film, went to the race, never even went in the media center because I didn't really feel like I belonged there. And I liked photography and I liked cars and I liked the Grand Prix, but I had never thought about putting them together as a job. So just as an experiment, I did. And then I got up on the internet once I had some pictures. And this was like the beginning of the internet. So like the internet, you know, now it didn't even really exist. But you know what America Online was?
Yep.
It was like its own internet. So I went on this racing thing and I said, hey, does anyone need some pictures of back then it was called CART. But it was IndyCar. And this company came back and they said, yeah, we're looking for IndyCar pictures. So they're like, do you want to send us some? I'm like, sure. So slides, you guys know what slides are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, put a bunch of slides in a thing. I think I sent them like 100 of what I thought were
Like
the
an
best
envelope?
ones.
Did you send an envelope?
Yeah, like FedEx.
Yeah.
And I get a call from them and they're like, okay, we want to buy 35 of them. I'm like, great. They're like, okay, we pay $100 a slide.
Ooh.
So I'm like,
3,500.
I'm like 35, and that, yeah, remember, that was 1994
Yeah,
money.
big.
So that's probably like, what, 6,000, 7,000 now? So I thought, wow, this is the easiest money in the whole world.
For doing something you just thought
For
was fun.
doing something I really thought was fun.
On a fluke, man. Like, just...
So the next year, I decided I was going to do some more races. So I went up on America Online again and said, hey, I want to go shoot Long Beach. Does anybody need a photographer? And a guy said, I'll get you a credential, basically get me in. And then, you can give me a few pictures and then you'll have your pictures. So I went out to Long Beach. And when I was out there, these 2 guys crashed together, Paul Tracy and Gilles de Ferran. And I got a picture of that. And I went to the lab, got the pictures developed. And then I basically called or emailed every racing magazine and I'm like, hey, I got this picture of this thing. Do you guys want it? And about 7 of them said, yeah, we'll take it. So I got duplicate slides made, sent it to all of them. And all of those people are like kind of my clients still. So one of them was Racer.
Magazine.
One of them was Autosport Magazine. One of them was Road and Track, which still exists. And then there are a couple of racing magazines that didn't exist. And I thought, man, when it went in Road and Track, I thought, I'm going to be rich because it's a cool magazine.
It's a big magazine.
Yeah, right. So I got a check for $125.
$125.
125 bucks for the magazine.
Okay.
So you see a pattern for me
Sure.
here. And then the other ones all paid less. Like Auto Week paid like 50 and Andre paid like
That's
20
per
bucks.
image? Per
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you went out, I spent like $2,000 going to California and they're paying me like 20 bucks. But that's kind of how the business was. But then I called the $3,500 guys and they said, yeah, we'll take some more. And they bought another 35. So now I'm like in the green again. And
Like, I would have been like, can I contract with you
yeah,
guys? Like,
so no, it's better. So then I go back up to America Online and I say, hey, I got pictures of Long Beach. And this guy said, do you have any of Adrian Fernandez, who was a guy from Mexico,
driver, yep.
but not really a top driver yet. He was kind of starting out. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, send him. So they're like, these are great. You want to do more races. We'll get you credentials and you can work with us. And that literally started everything for me. So by the time a couple of years were over, I was working for Adrian, I was working for his sponsors, I was working for 3 Mexican newspapers and 2 magazines and Bridgestone tires in Mexico. And I had this whole thing and it was literally just because I just I just imagined it, and then there it was. So like the moral of the story is you guys might think I'm doing something stupid, or this is never gonna lead to anything, or I'm just doing it for fun. But if you just keep digging in there, you might end up coming up with something that you do for the rest of your life. So I've been doing it now for 30 years, you know, raised 2 kids, bought a house, traveled all over the world, Australia, Japan, Brazil, Mexico, Canada, all over, France, England, Germany, all for the job. And it's been fun too, as Meryl will tell you. Like, we've been to Japan together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's an amazing thing. And honestly, there's really no school that can, I mean, you can teach someone how to take a picture, but you can't teach someone how to be like a business. So the thing that I did that I think was a little different was every time I met someone, I looked at them and I didn't think, what do I want out of this? I thought, what do they want out of this? You know, what do you need out of your photographer? So if they wanted me to hop on a plane and go to Mexico, I'd do it. If they want me to go over to their office and take a picture of the boss, I'll do it, you know? And it's been really cool. So, you know, and obviously when the internet started up, we got on that really early. We started early with digital pictures. We used to bring scanners around and get film done, stay up all night, putting them in the scanner and turning them into digital. And then once we started with digital cameras, it got a little easier probably. But yeah, it's been awesome. So, you know, I mean, what you're doing is probably fun, but can actually be something too. And honestly, you don't need, I didn't have any money. I didn't have any qualifications for this. I didn't even have any photo lessons. I mean, I went to film school, so I knew how to run a movie camera, but I didn't ever take a photo class. I just liked it, and I saw pictures I liked, and I'm like, I can do something like that. Yeah.
I never knew that story, man.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
How did you like equipment? How would you, because you had no money to
Well,
get good equipment.
here's the deal. My daughter was born in '93, okay? And I had cameras on and off, 35s like this,
Yeah.
basically this size. And I didn't have one at the time. So she's up in Pontiac with my wife, who's just given birth after 24 hours of labor.
Oh, wow.
And I'm driving down Woodward, and I'm thinking, man, I need a camera. So I stopped off at Century Camera, and I bought an old camera like this.
Check.
Not a new one at the time, it was an old one. And I went back up there that afternoon with the camera, and I took some really cool pictures of her, and that kind of got me started, because I'm like, man, these pictures are really good.
I'm good.
Maybe I should do more of this. So that kind of got me hooked. And so I bought a few more lenses, and you know, I bought another body. And when the Grand Prix came around, it was just literally like, I love racing and I love photography, and this looks like something that would be great to take pictures of. I was also going down to the fountain in Hart Plaza and taking pictures over there, and going out to Belle Isle and, you know, shooting the hydroplanes when they came to town.
Yep.
Going up on the Belle Isle Bridge and just taking pictures of boats at sunset. And but the racing thing just stuck. It was really crazy. It was like almost like no one was doing it, or no one was doing it right or something, because it happened really quick. Because I was working for, when I started, I was working for a movie lab. Do you know where Little Caesars is?
Yeah.
The address of Little Caesars
The arena.
is the address of my movie lab.
Hmm.
So they built that thing right on top of where I used to work. And my old boss, man, I can't even imagine how much he made.
Oh,
Because he owned the
because they
land.
bought the property.
Yeah, he owned the land that they built the stadium on.
Wow.
But I was working right down there, and then I later worked for Kodak, putting in 1 hour photo machines when they first came out. And in '97, I went into my boss and I said, "Hey, I'm quitting my job." And he's like, "Don't quit. Keep your car, keep your American Express, keep your cell phone." Big deal back then. Keep your pager, and just call us up when you can work. So I did a whole summer doing this for
I did a
real
job like
and
that.
doing that a couple of days a week. And so I'd only get paid when I was working, but he needed more people who knew what they were doing. So I'd go to a Rite Aid store and install one of those machines, and then that would be it for the week, you know, like 1 day or 2 days. So at the end of the summer, I knew this is gonna work. So then I quit for real and brought